Hi, how's it going? How are you? How are you doing? We're gonna do a little, makeup on the face. As you can see, she's slightly pink because I have been testing out a new skincare from Pros. They have the customized hair care, and I'm actually partnering with them on this. And unfortunately, my skin is not reacting. It's not killing it. It's just, she's just a little irritated. So we're going to put on a little bit of evening out. I was watching this really interesting, a very kind creator, this guy named Rob Maritime. And I just randomly, that was the beauty of the internet. I stumbled across this video the other day, yesterday, actually. I was in a post workout stupor. It was leg day. And I'm walking around like, I don't know, a very sore person today. Like, there are so many memes for leg day. Walking around like that. But anyway, yesterday I was watching his video and it was a good headline. There was definitely like a little bit of a clickbait element to it, but I'm not mad at him for that at all. And he was talking about how he's really struggled with being on YouTube, scripting, coming up with things to say, and how he believes that what's working on YouTube now and what people are craving on YouTube now, in his opinion, is just unscripted, authentic videos that are long form because they're not as much out there as they used to be. As we know, short form has taken over with the rise of TikTok, Instagram competing with TikTok, YouTube competing with TikTok, and now I think TikTok's just sort of turned into its own little weird bubble. But man, I forgot to put this on. So I'm also testing the OneSkin Tinted SPF. I don't know about this. I love the texture, but it's a little patchy looking on my skin. Do you see? This is what the Juice Beauty did. It doesn't feel like anything on my face. This continues to be a favorite, you guys. It's just so good. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But Rob did a great job. He did a really, really great job. And I don't mean to sound condescending, but I love when I see new creators come through and he reminded me of, what I was like when I had first started on here. And I'm not like a veteran of YouTube, but I've been on here for a little bit. And I think he's right. I think from not as a creator, but as a consumer of content, I am too kind of looking for that in my content as well. So I don't always want to just see the formulaic. However, I still want the formula. Like I still want the information that I need when I need it, right? So if I'm looking for editing or software, like I'm running into a glitch with editing somewhere. Oh man, I did not want to put that there. That's where I highlight under the brow bone. You don't put shadow there. Anyway, we'll just blend it out. We're just going to trust the process here using the Athr palette quite a bit lately. They're coming back. So I like both. Ironically, that is what this audience has been telling me for a very long time. Focus, focus, focus. Thank you. That's real splotchy over there. It's real weird looking. Anyway, you all have been telling me that from the jump. You're like, well, just do both. And I have overthought my way into a giant hole. So that's actually why today, that looks really weird, but we're just going to go with it. I recognize it. Don't think I don't see it. I see it. I see it on my face. We're just going to go with it. I haven't scripted. I definitely have ideas. I have a constant running list of things that I find to be interesting, namely what is going on with my eyeshadow right now. But things that I find interesting that I'm constantly absorbing and learning about. And, there's always something. Namely the Rob video today. And he just sort of, I don't know, struck a chord. Obviously, it's why I'm talking about it. So I really liked it. And I wanted to have more of this time. Plus, I try so many things out, and the comments recently have been great. They're always great. But you've been asking things like, where is this mascara? Or, oh my God. Oh my God. Well, this is the Gen Z gel eyeliner. That's not a good look. We'll just put it right back in there. I have a new review of this up on the website, and it was a favorable review. These things happen. Technical difficulties. Yikesies. So anyway, you were asking questions about the Iris and Romeo mascara that I had on or something like that. And I remember saying, I'm so close to having a new scorecard on that. I'm going to share with you. I'm so close to having this and I'm reviewing this. And I just have so much. And I feel like what I've done is taken everything that I had learned in the corporate world, which has definitely served me to a degree for a bit and probably for a while. But there's a lot of that can be let go because it was crazy. Crazy. Absolutely nuts. PowerPoints, which you now call decks. Nobody calls it a PowerPoint anymore. You're revising and revising and revising, and you're thinking. And then you want to present it because I was on creative teams, and so you're presenting things to get them past like an internal creative agency. And what ends up happening is you think a lot. You lose yourself in the process. You lose the person that they hired in a way. And I realized over the course of, almost 2 decades, you lose a lot of who you are. You gain a lot as well, but there's that loss of self in there. And what I loved about Rob's video is that he was so fresh and new and kind of like, I guess I'm just going to give it a shot. There wasn't a lot of thought. And the point of it was not to have too much thought. It was to let go a little bit. And I think we've all seen creators starting to get into this. You heard me talk about it in a previous video. And we're trying to navigate what's next because the current trajectory isn't necessarily where you want to continue, but you don't really know how to get into the what's next. And oftentimes what I've found that I do is I can overthink it and go back to what's comfortable and safe, my formulas that I learned that, again, have served me in some ways. Or you can get out of your own way and just try and see. And for some reason, I have neglected doing that for a really long time. So probably I'm not making any promises in this. I have a tendency to make these grandiose promises and then I hold myself accountable and it's just like unnecessary pressure. But what I did realize was I want to do a little bit more of the kind of off the cuff thing where, there's a little more freedom involved. I will have a scorecard for this. It's actually right about ready to be published. This is the Iris and Romeo, but I really wanted, because this is supposed to have lash benefits and help strengthen lashes, I wanted to see if it's actually changing my lashes. So that takes a little bit longer. And consistent review of consistent review of what your lashes are looking like, which sometimes you just forget. You're like, oh yeah, I'm doing a wear test for that. But now that it's my full-time gig, can't really be forgetting. So what I'm saying is there needs to be some structure and there needs to be a little less structure. There needs to be some sort of fine balance in between the two. And I think Rob was really onto something with what he was saying in terms of being authentic and connecting. I think the one reason, well, there's several reasons. Look at how weird that eyeliner is on this eye. Just saying. There's several reasons I love YouTube over all the other channels. It's not perfect. I love my site the most, but one of the reasons why I like it is because you can create a level of community here that I just don't think is available on short form. It's not what it's made for, and that's okay. It doesn't have to be, although they do have communities, but with the big, big, big people. And then all of a sudden you're at the mercy of the algorithm and you just vanish, right? It's such a tough gig and it's such a cool one, but I like what he said. I really like what he said. And I think I can get in my way with overthinking and I'm like, well, this is working and this isn't working. And that's how I was trained to constantly be presenting and proving my theories to a manager, another business that I'm working with, a client. It makes sense. You do need to kind of back it up. Well, not everybody backs things up these days, but what I was doing, I needed to back it up. So I'm constantly thinking like that. And I see things like Rob's video and it's a nice little moment of unlearning and letting go of the way things have been done, going a bit more with your intuition, which brings me to the next kind of random thought that is flying into my head with a stream of consciousness, because it can. Intuition. I have a pretty strong amount of intuition. Like my gut is relatively strong. It's not like the most strong. I can tell. I have a spidey sense. We all have it. Everybody listening, you guys know what I'm talking about. You have the spidey sense. But we don't always listen to the spidey sense. And sometimes I don't listen, and then my body will eventually tell me, like, or something else will happen and it'll close that door because it's like, nope, that's not, that wasn't, your plan wasn't the plan. So in order to kind of connect more with my intuition, what I've started doing in the morning is just sitting there for 5 minutes. And this is based off of a quote that I heard. Who said it? I don't know. I didn't research it. But if more people could sit alone in a room for 5 minutes, the world would be a better place. That's the gist of it. So if you know who said that, can you please, I probably butchered it, but can you let me know in the comments? So if you could sit alone in a room for 5 minutes with yourself and your thoughts and all those emotions that just kind of, although I didn't really have a lot of emotion, I just sat there. I've been doing that every day. I don't get it in every morning in terms of just that practice. I don't really have a time of day yet where I'm doing it, but that's something else that I'm giving a shot. So 5 minutes every day and asking questions sometimes, sitting there and just being. Yesterday, I actually sat there for 5 minutes. Again, I was so tired after the workout. And the reason I was so tired is because she didn't hydrate. She didn't eat enough. I did an afternoon workout. This weight training, it really teaches you how if you expect something from your body, you're going to have to give it something to work with. So I can't go in there and have had 2 sips of water all day. Body will be like, no, you're crazy. We're not going to do that. You're nuts. But I was laying there yesterday, just conked out, took a shower, was relaxing, really needed to get a lot of work done, but didn't do that. And did my 5 minutes. I thought, okay, I'm going to ask a question. Yesterday was supposedly August 8th is a Lionsgate portal. I'm doing a lot of air quotes in this video. Don't hold it against me. It's just happening. I don't know. We're going to go with it. But it's a day for manifesting. It's woo-woo for some of us. I have a whole thing about mental rehearsal. I believe in mental rehearsal. This started back when I was playing tennis. I learned about mental rehearsal when I was playing tennis. And I will say that the dreaming and daydreaming has been something that has been a constant in my life as a kid, constantly daydreaming, always visualizing. I can visualize. I've always been able to dream and remember my dreams. And some people can't. Some people have way different strengths and skill sets, but that's been mine. And it's the day for manifesting yesterday. So I wanted to take extra time and just go, what do I really want? You're seeing the mushy part. I'm not at the part where I'm like, well, I grew my business to $100 million and here's how I did it. No, this is the in-between. This is the in-between. And I know what I don't want. That's also very helpful in figuring things out. But a part of it was figuring out what I wanted. And when I was sitting there, I was kind of visualizing these things. I fell asleep because I was tired. And I love a nap. And then it was my little power nap. And then I woke up and played music. And I just laid there and listened to music. And I can't tell you the last time that I was just laying in the middle of the day. Like, what a luxury. I don't know how long this is going to last, this window of time where I'm really creating and doing things, and it's messy, but it's wonderful and all that. You know what I mean? It's one of those windows that you know in your life at this age. I'm like, I know this is a very special window of time. I need to use it and enjoy it. I don't know when I'm going to be able to do that again. I hope I create a life where I can have more of that because it was so great. Did you ever do that when you were a kid? What did you do when you were a kid? How did you calm down when you were a kid? Or how were you just present as a child? That's what I would do. There were a lot of things I would do, but that was one of the things that I would do. I would just sit there and listen to music. I'm going to play more with eyeshadow now because that's what I do too as an adult. And I felt so rejuvenated after that. So rejuvenated. I loved it. Am I going to do it again today? I don't know. I have a tendency to not do what is great for my nervous system sometimes, but I think I might. I think I might incorporate it into the picture. I'm just not going to force it into the structure of my day, but for now, we're just putting on makeup and playing, and now I'm talking to you. This is a multi-stick from Ami Cole. This was gifted, and it's the shade Desert Date. We're going on a date in the desert. Ugh, count me out. I would not want that. But this is one of my go-to lip colors. Why is this just like the best color? I probably will never use this as a blush. I mean, I will, but not often. Why is it just so good? I don't know. I guess I'll show it to you as a blush because we're here, but it's not my favorite. Plus my skin is extra rosy lately because of that stuff I'm testing. I think there's just more sodium hyaluronate in there than I need. Can we put a pause break on the sodium hyaluronate brands, chemists? We know it was big. We know it was a big deal and it's supposed to hold on to all this water. But man, my skin, it's drying. And it's, well, I don't know if it's drying, but every time I use it, my skin's not always the happiest. So I'll say that. I don't want to get, people coming after me in the comments. Like, it cannot be drying. It holds on to moisture. Not like you guys do that. You guys are great. You guys never do stuff like that. I'm also testing the Jillian Dempsey Spot Stick. This is in 3. And here's what I've learned about this one. This is very good for travel. Teeny tiny little bitty. Actually, I haven't done this yet. Let's see how long this is. Hold, please. Look at that. She's still going. Okay. Well, it's actually pretty, it's the length of the container. That's it. That's a lot of product, I think, for something that is not, uh-oh, it's not going down. Okay, now it's going down. Decent amount of product, right? What does it say on here? 0.18 ounce. Okay, so it's really not a lot, but it feels like this is not going super fast. And here's how I like to apply it. Ooh, now the product is all crunkly up around the edges. That's all right. We'll work with it. I use an eyeshadow brush. I believe this is just a blending brush from BK Beauty. It's their 201 brush. You do not need this brush for this specific reason. I did apply concealer before I hopped on here because honestly, it takes me forever to apply concealer and do brows, and I don't like doing that while I'm trying to talk to you. I can't. I'm not that good at this. So I need to do it beforehand. Then I come on and we talk. So I put it onto the brush. Sometimes I'll prime it on the back of the hand. Basically, you push it into the back of your hand, okay? Because you don't want a ton of product on there. And this is something I've learned. Then you just kind of brush it into, I'm very into the corners lately. And then I bring it kind of all the way down here, which might not be correct, but it's how I'm doing it, okay? Not like you're judging, but somebody's going to, promise. Look at that. Just brightens the corner. And it's really lightweight. It doesn't feel like the RMS, which has a little bit more density to it, richness to it. The other cream concealers that I've tried, this is very approachable as a cream concealer. As in, it might be really hard to screw up. So I'm really liking what I'm seeing, but this is really what I'm just doing that. And then you go like this. In his video, Rob Maritime, our new best friend, Rob Maritime. Also, some people just have that good energy, He's got that good energy, I think. I hope. I never know. It's the internet, but it seems good. And he was talking about jump cuts and highly edited videos and stuff like that. And last weekend, all the comments that I responded to, because I was very late on responding to your comments, my bad. But when I was responding, I kept saying things like, man, I think I'm just going to do a live stream. I think I'm just going to do a live stream, which I've been teasing over here forever. And the reason I was saying that is because my computer just, every time I tried to edit, it was a problem. So I'm excited to hear his perspective of how people are really liking less highly edited videos. It just depends on what you like. I know, but I also like learning and evolving over here. And ironically, I feel like this channel is similar to my life in a lot of ways in that I'm kind of going back to what it was. So we're coming full circle. It's a full circle moment in a weird way. And Rob just cemented it, whether he knows it or not. You just never know who you're going to inspire. And yeah, that's that. Let's fix this situation. That was a hot mess. By the way, this is the Swede eyeliner. It's very creamy and light, and it's almost like a shadow in a pencil. It's that kind of blurry and smoky. If you're looking for a defined line, this ain't it. And I never say ain't, but this isn't it. However, it has a nice little place in the routine if you want a softer line, which I have been kind of liking the softer lines lately. Don't know why, just kind of have, So we're going to lip line and we're going to be done. This is just sort of an easy, everyday look. I have life to my face. Look. How many times can I say look? So many. It's called, this will be my, have you guys ever seen the movie Waitress and how she names her pies? Really funny names. That was such a great movie. Anyway, and I'm sure it's a wonderful Broadway show. I meant to talk about these two. Mango People versus OG. I think I'm going to do a battle of these two. I'll put a little OG on while I'm talking, finishing this one up. But in that movie, she talks about, or she makes these cool pie names. This one I think is going to be, I'm going to apply that to my makeup looks a little bit. I don't see why not. I'm going to call this one, I don't know what I should call it. I want to call it like letting go or getting out of your own way look. You see what's happening here? I've tried it with every brush imaginable. And there's something that comes out oddly splotchy to me. And I don't know why this camera isn't focusing right now. Focus. I'm not sure about the OG. I'm just not sure about it, especially when you compare it to the Mango People. But back to what I'm going to name this look. Does it really matter? No. Maybe that's why that's a movie and it takes really good writers to come up with those things. I don't know. I like the blush stick. I just think the copper has a little bit of shimmer. Let me know what you think. Something's a little... By the way, I am 2 weeks into... Here's the Mango People. It's going to be a lot of bronze. I'm 2 weeks into the zip. Well, okay, truth be told, I've tried it for at least a month now, almost 2 months, maybe 2.5. And I fell off the wagon because I had a really nasty cold for about over a week. And it was okay because it reminded me of how much I love creating content. I was going through a bit of an existential crisis there about makeup. And I'm like, no, you can do this. This is fine. You love to do this, because I couldn't do it for 10 days because I was so sick. Anyway, so that was great. Really completely lost train of thought. What was I even talking about? I don't even know what I was talking about. I distracted myself so much. Oh no, the zip. Oh, I hopped off the zip for a little bit, but now I've been using it. And I'll tell you, it's very hard in the before and after pictures, trying to find the right spot to take those before and after pictures. And I've realized that the consistent lighting is here. So I dim it down a little bit to look more realistic. I will show you in natural light, but it's hard to do it. And I really wasn't seeing anything for all the times that I was using it until I went out to dinner a couple times in a row and people were saying, hey, your cheeks look a little bit more contoured or something. People were starting to remark on my skin and I couldn't really see it. And they were talking about the benefits that you get from not only microcurrent, but nanocurrent. So it's a dual wave technology here. I have it right here. So this is the little device. It is now called the Halo. This is the earlier device, the GX, I believe. And microcurrent is going to help at a muscular level. I'm going to really dive into this for the review. And then nanocurrent is at more of a deeper cellular level, and it's supposed to help boost with collagen. This is a consistency thing. This is the game you play. You have to keep using this and using it frequently for you to see any results, of course. But I've stuck with it, and I actually quite like it. So I'm pulling together a 30-day review for that. And then I'm going to start to do 30-day reviews for things that are actually neck down, because this isn't all there is to my life. There's more happening below that I've completely neglected. So a lot of this is going to go into health and wellness and things like that. That's coming. But 30-day things like, one is the meditating or kind of sitting for 5 minutes every day, getting back into yoga and stretching, strength training, tips about strength training, all of it. Water filtration came up in a comment, like just it needs to expand. And so I think I love bringing it back to the inspiration for this video, that person's video, Rob, our friend Rob, he doesn't know me, but he's my friend now. He doesn't even know, is opening it up and letting go a little bit of the structure that I had made that is no longer serving me. So if there's something that you're doing in your life and it's kind of boxing you in now, it used to help, but maybe it's boxing you in, holding you back, but you're so used to it and comfortable with it. It's what you've been doing for so long. Maybe you can watch this and it'll give you a little bit of a push or inspiration to try the different way, try the different approach. and just see how it goes, because worst case scenario usually isn't as bad as you think it's going to be. So that's what I'm doing as I navigate this hot and cold game that we talked about that one time at band camp. Just kidding. That's an old joke from that movie. Anyway, if you want to get out of your way, then hopefully this helps you figure out that you can do that. And it's going to feel really weird. Feels pretty weird. It might not for you. I hope it doesn't, but it feels a little weird for me. And I am very bronzed right now. But did you see how the mango people kind of just, it blends a little better? Got a little bit of random patchiness from the OG. I don't know if you saw it. Tell me if you saw it. Because it's hard what I see versus what you see. Whatever. Hope you enjoyed this one. Getting ready is always fun for me. Hope you got ready with me. And if not, hope you enjoyed listening to me kind of wax poetic about what I'm thinking about these days. All of these products will be listed in the description. You can continue getting ready with me. There's a whole playlist for that if you want to just keep on going. Or you can watch my favorites playlist, because that's the one that usually pops up next. All right, talk to you soon. Bye.